Let's look at the deepest hole on the planet. This is a gigantic sinkhole in the ground that is so big it looks like it could swallow the entire world. But this massive gaping abyss is nothing compared to the largest hole on the face of the Earth, which is 12 kilometers wide and more than twice as deep as the Mariana Trench. It's not just the biggest hole in the world, it's also one of the hottest places on Earth with temperatures reaching to 100 degrees Celsius. Imagine standing at the edge of this enormous hole and looking down into its fiery depths. You would feel like you were standing at the edge of the world itself. But what is this strange hole and how did it get there? It's called the Danakil Depression and it's located in the Afar Triangle in Ethiopia. It was formed over millions of years by the movement of tectonic plates and volcanic activity. The hole is filled with magma from the Earth's core and it is constantly emitting steam and hot gases. If you were brave enough to take a trip to the bottom of the hole, you would find that it's filled with molten lava and rock. The pressure at the bottom of the hole is immense, and it is constantly trying to push its way out. This is what makes Danakil Depression one of the most dangerous holes on the face of the Earth. The hole is surrounded by active volcanoes, and it's constantly emitting sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and carbon monoxide. These gases are poisonous and they can cause serious respiratory problems if inhaled. Despite the danger, scientists are constantly monitoring the hole because it is one of the most active and dangerous places on the planet. What would happen if someone fell into this massive hole? If a person or object were to fall into the Danakil Depression, it would be met with an extremely hot temperature of around 100 degrees Celsius. This is hot enough to burn skin and flesh in a matter of seconds. As the object fell deeper and deeper into the hole, it would be met with immense pressure. The pressure at the bottom of the hole is so great that it can cause rocks and minerals to fracture and break apart. Eventually, the object would reach the molten lava and rock at the bottom of the hole, and it would be completely destroyed. But what would happen if something much larger fell into the hole? What if a plane or a train were to fall into the Danakil Depression? If a plane were to fall into the hole, it would be met with the same intense heat and pressure that anything else would be met with. The plane would be completely destroyed, and there would be no hope of surviving the impact. The same would be true for a train. If a train were to fall into the hole, it would be met with intense heat and pressure that would completely destroy it. The train cars would be crushed and the tracks would be melted. But what would happen if something even bigger fell into the hole? What if an asteroid were to hit the Earth and fall into the Danakil Depression? If an asteroid were to fall into the hole, it would be a spectacular sight to behold. The asteroid would be met with the same intense heat and pressure as everything else that falls into the hole. However, the asteroid might not be completely destroyed. Depending on the size of the asteroid, it might be able to retain its shape and simply be pushed to the bottom of the hole. The impact of the asteroid would cause a massive explosion and release a large amount of energy. This could potentially cause damage to the surrounding area, but it's unlikely that anything other than the asteroid would be destroyed. So if you're anywhere near the Danakil Depression, watch your step because you never know when something might fall into the hole and cause a massive explosion.